breaking news. A series of Republicans are calling, representatives in Congress are calling for a new set of hearings on January 6th. Because with the release of 44,000 hours worth of tape inside the Capitol building that we haven't seen before, the question becomes, is the narrative that was floated by Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats indeed true? We need to kind of ask some serious questions, I think. I've pointed this out to you guys in the past, right? Nancy Pelosi, she got word earlier that there was going to be a little bit of an issue right at the Capitol building and people were going to show up and there was going to be a protest. And normally you might take some steps and say, okay, we're going to bring in the Capitol Hill Police. We're going to do X, Y, and Z. We're going to make sure that nobody gets near the Capitol. Nobody's able to come in, right? That's like normal. That's what you would do if you heard that there's this protest coming because, well, you should. Like, that's normal course of business. But she didn't do that. No, instead, she decided to call her daughter. Yeah, her daughter, Alexandra Pelosi, who happened to be a documentary filmmaker. And Alexandra said, great, let me come in. I'm going to shoot the whole thing for HBO. So apparently Nancy didn't have any friends over at NBC News or CBS News or CNN to call. No. She called her daughter. Her daughter, who then in turn sold the video to CNN, which CNN briefly mentioned was Alexandra's, but then went on to play it in a loop, calling it a CNN exclusive, allowing the American people to think that somehow CNN had cameras in there. Nope. Those were cameras belonging to Alexandra Pelosi, daughter of Nancy. You don't think that's a little bias? I mean, just the perception of bias here. Maybe Alexandra is a Class A journalist. Doubt it, but let's just go with that assumption for a second. Even if she is about as clean and squeaky clean as they come, you don't think that just the perception of your child's tape, as opposed to an actual organization's tape, making the rounds and being the only thing that people could see of what happened inside the Capitol building, and then everybody said, oh no, we can't release the Capitol tapes, those are under lock and key because security reasons, we're not going to show anybody. We're only going to show Nancy Pelosi's tape? Come on. This is what we saw over and over again in the Capitol hearings. Watch. They didn't always tell you, by the way. I mean, they said the first few times. I think this is the ABC News version. Take a peek.
When he comes, I'm going to punch him out. This is my mom. I would pay to see that. I've been waiting for this. For trespassing on the Capitol.
You notice how it says CNN exclusive.
I'm going to be happy.
The footage was shot by filmmaker Alexandra Pelosi, the Speaker's daughter, for an HBO documentary. She was with her mother as she fled the Capitol.
Yes, ma'am. We have got to finish the proceedings or else it will have a complete victory.
Later, she can be heard checking in with Vice President Mike.
Okay. So then it goes on. Later, she can be heard checking in with Vice President Mike Pence. That's all caught on tape. So the hysteria, and they played hours and hours of this, it was all from Nancy Pelosi's daughter because she was the one with the access. And they told us we couldn't see the 44,000 hours worth of tape because it was a security violation. Really? So you saw outside the Capitol building, that was not insignificant. And that was, something to see. But what about inside? I mean, I do think it's important. If you want to understand this entire story, you need to see everything. It's really actually critical that you see everything. You see, as a journalist, I want to see all sides. And I want to see what one might characterize as the impartial evidence. In other words, just the cameras that were on the walls, so that then I can make my own decision. Rather than having to see this played in a loop, I want to show you again.
I'm going to punch him out.
You see how
I'm waiting for this.
You see how there's a CNN exclusive bug on the upper left-hand side of your screen.
The footage was shot by filmmaker Alexandra
So this is World
Pelosi,
News
the
Tonight
speaker's daughter,
doing this
for an
story.
HBO documentary.
And
She was with her
he's
mother as she
saying
fled the Capitol.
that this is video. He does credit Alexandra that was shot by the speaker's daughter. But at some point, you know, those things were played over and over and over and over again, kind of in a loop on CNN with the big bug CNN exclusive. At some point, they stopped telling you it was Alexandra Pelosi's footage. And this then became just the footage. And that was a problem. So today, we have learned that several members of the GOP, representatives there in Congress, are calling for another set of January 6 hearings because they want a chance to go through those 44,000 hours of tape that we never got to see.